walks in. He's like, I'm here to kidnap you, Prince Elise. He's like, oh no, because he has one of the Chaos Emeralds. Plus, I need you for like a super powerful reason. So he's like, oh no. So he needs to go and chase. And he's like, here's Sonic. I'll give you one of the Chaos Emeralds before she gets kidnapped. He's like, all right, now Sonic gotta go chase him. So now he's like, all right, I gotta go chase her. So he chases for her. And then he's like, I gotta chase her. So he's chasing her through multiple areas. You gotta get her back. Eventually, Sonic does get her back. He's like, oh, thank you, Sonic. Thank you, Sonic, for saving me. So he's like, all right, bet. He's like, all right, I saved you, and I get to get you back home. So he gets him back home. But then she gets kidnapped again. He's like, gosh, dang it. And then he also, this is when he meets Silver the Hedgehog. So the Hedgehog, him and Sonic start fighting. But then Sonic kind of gets beat by Silver the Hedgehog because Silver kind of has telekinesis powers.
God, telekinesis.
He's able to throw Sonic around. And then he's like, oh no. And then while they're both distracted, Prince Elise gets kidnapped by Dr. Eggman again. So he's like, gosh, dang it, I gotta go save this. Gotta go save him. Screw you. And then he runs over, and then Sonic runs away, trying to save him. And he's like, all right, I gotta find it. Then you gotta trace a train that Princess Elise is on, but it has a bomb strapped to it. So he gotta go save it.
No.
He's like, you gotta go chase it. And then he's like, all right, I gotta go save it.
What too late?
He's like, he runs into Silver again. He's like,
why?
He runs into Silver again. He's like, not this guy again. And then sorry, my fault. I kind of got tracked. So Sonic goes to chase him, but Sonic gets traveled into the future, and now he's like in the future. It's like, gosh dang it, I was stuck in the future, and Shadow's here. What the?
Oh man.
All right, bet. And it's like apparently the future's all messed up and lava and all this stuff. Like there's lava everywhere. It's all burnt. He's like, all right, how are we gonna get out of this? It's like, don't worry, we have the Chaos Emeralds, and they fight this thing called the Iblis, and we don't know yet.
Who?
Until we talk about the other timelines. So
Oh my god, we have to talk about other timelines.
Present time. He just goes back into the present. He's like, alright, I'm back here, and he gotta save Prince Elise, and on the train, and then he goes try to save him, and then Silver runs back into him. He's like, alright, Sonic, stop there, right there, Sonic. He's like, alright, and then Shadow comes in. He's like, don't worry, Sonic, I got this. You go save Prince Elise. He gets to go save Prince Elise, but then the ship that Eggman has, it blows up, and everybody dies. Eggman, Prince Elise, everybody. He's like, I failed everyone, and he's like, don't worry, Sonic. He's like, don't worry, I have a plan. We're gonna go back in the present, and this time things are gonna be different. You're gonna invade that base. He's like, all right, bet. So Sonic goes back into the present. He's like, all right, bet. He goes back in the past, and he's like, all right, bet. I'm gonna get to that gunship. If it gets down to the ship, he's like, all right, you better stop before the thing blows up. And he's like, all right, bet. And then him and his friends like go to save Prince Elise. And then literally he goes in there, he fights Eggman. He's like, we saved the day. But now we're back in the Shadow story. How Shadow got here. So Shadow, he was breaking into a gun base, and then he breaks in. He's like, I'm looking for this powerful thing. And he finds this powerful tool. He's like, this is what I needed. And he's with Blaze too. Daddy. So he's like, all right, bet.
Say what?
All right. So now we gotta do this. And then he goes through all of it. He goes through all of it, trying to find like important stuff to this and try to figure out the story. He's like also trying to fight Dr. Eggman. Then he gets traveled to the future. He's like, what the heck? So and then he has to like fight Iblis again. But the thing is Sonic went into the future, but the Shadow had to stay behind a little bit. So then he like goes insane. He like takes off his rank things, and he's like, and then he goes like a Super Saiyan, bro. He like starts fighting like a million armies of like things, and then he like goes insane. But then he's kind of stuck in the future. He's kind of stuck in the past. So he assigns his.
I said punch him.
He gets his robot friend. He gets his robot friend to go back into the past and shut down to save a Chaos Emerald. So Shadow can get transported back into the past. So Rogue basically goes into the past. While his robot like stays there and like has the Chaos Emerald ready until he's ready to use Chaos Control. And then he gets back into the present. He's like, all right, I'm back in the present. Everyone's here. And he's like, all right, now I gotta fight everything. And then he fights Iblis in the present, who's figured out to be like this disguise thing, who's like disguised creature. He's like, I gotta fight you. And then he's like, all right, bet. And then he beats him up, and he's like, all right, that's cool. But now we're on to Silver. All right, Silver the Hedgehog. He's a Silver Hedgehog from the future. All right, and he's like, my past is ruined. My future's ruined, bro. Literally everything I know is destroyed. And then this guy, he comes up. and he's like, yo, I can offer you a better future, but you gotta work out for Sonic the Hedgehog, because he will bring on the end of the future. And he's like, alright,
Sonic?
he's like, alright, I'm gonna bring you to the past. So now I'm gonna bring you to the past now. So that's over. And he's like, alright, bet. So he goes on the hunt looking for Sonic, bro. And he's like, I gotta kill this guy, Sonic the Hedgehog, before he brings out the end of the future. And he's like, alright, bet. And then he tries to kill Sonic the first time. And he's like, I was so successful. He also runs into Amy Rose. The Amy Rose stops and he's like, Silver, stop. That's my friend. He's like, wait a minute. No, this is like, I gotta kill him. And then he's like, too late. He's like, so then he gets him, but Sonic gets away. He's like, God dang it, I had to kill that guy. He was like, well, Sonic's a friend, bro. He was like, all right, well, I was like, all right, sure. And then he talks to Iblis, and he's like, I'm not sure for this. Oh yeah, this is also where Blaze, his friend's in there, and she also agrees. And then she's like, so they go like, and like they try to find Sonic, and then they find Sonic, and he's like, Sonic, he's like, yo, come on, dude. He's like, I gotta kill you, man. You're gonna bring in the end of all days. He's like, I gotta kill you, Sonic. But then Blaze gives up herself, and she like dies because like it's like she has to give up her power and all that. So it's like, oh no, she died. And now he's like, oh no, I'll defeat you, Iblis, because like they revealed like he was the cause of the future's problem. So he's like, I gotta fight you, Iblis. So he fights Iblis, and that was gonna be the end. And now the final story, literally Iblis is like right there at the end. He's like, what the? So it's like Sonic and like all of his friends like meet up in one place, and it's like, Iblis is gonna bring on the future, guys. He's like super powerful being, and we don't know how to defeat him. It's just like, oh shoot, dude, how are we gonna do this? And then so Iblis is like, yeah. And then the key that Shadow had in the beginning of the mission, he apparently was like a key to unlock his ultimate power, and then he gets he gets it. He's like, all right, I can unlock it, and he unlocks it, and it's like, oh, and then he goes ultimate power. He just starts breaking the future. He breaks everything. Present, past, and future, and now everything's broken up into pieces. And it's like, now it's like, it's like I'm ultimate now. It's like you gotta beat perfect Iblis now. And now Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, they all turn super. And now they're like, all right, we gotta beat this guy.
Man.
And then, Sonic's like,
first time,
Sonic's like,
I don't even think we made it this last world yet.
Sonic dies. Sonic literally goddamn dies trying to fight Iblis. He's like, I'm dead, guys. And then Prince Elise, oh yeah, I forgot about this. They also travel to the past where they find Prince Elise as a child, and apparently she's like the source to everything. And she's like the source of everything. And she has like this skin of like that like gives like everything ultimate power. And then, so then Princess Elise is like, so now we're back to the present where everything's breaking up. And then Prince Elise like gave Sonic a straight smooch on the lips, and he's like, and it's enough to revive him. And he like gets back up, and he like becomes super. And he's like, I gotta kill. He's like, I gotta defeat this guy, and he defeats him. He's like, whoa. And like Sonic is like,
damn, land where I'm at.
Now we have to go back in the past, because now I have to blow out the candle that like give like the whole Iblis like their power. The thing is, Prince Elise will forget like our past, and it's like, all right, he blows out the candle, and then boom. Like it all ends, and then Sonic never meets Elise, and it never happens. Iblis is never born, and all that. Silver lives a good life. The future's secure.